Welcome students of class 12 once again. Now we are discussing about the pre-block element, and now in discussion there is group 16 elements, and we have already discussed one topic, one class on group 16, that is the preliminary idea about the 16 element and the hydrides of the element. Now in the next point it is the halides. So halides of group 16 elements will be discussed later. Now among the halides, the all the elements, that is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, forms halides. Now oxygen forms a varieties of halides. Oxygen forms a varieties of halides in different oxidation state. That is, the examples are with 2. Here the oxidation state of oxygen is equal to +2. Next one, that is Cl2O5. Here also the different oxidation state, that is Cl2O7, Cl2O7, I2O5, Cl2O7, I2O5. So these are the different halides formed by oxygen. Next, it is the rest elements halides. So rest elements are sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Now first of all, it is the hexahalides. So hexahalides of hexahalides. So only the fluorine can form hexahalides. SF6, selenium hexafluoride, and tellurium hexafluoride. As fluorine is highest electronegative and smallest side, it can form the hexahalides. So only the hexahalides of the element, that is sulfur, selenium, tellurium, are stable. Now the question is, what is the order of stability of these three hexahalides? So these three hexahalides, the SF6 is maximum stable, and then ACF6, and then TF6. Why this type of stability? First of all, here sulfur fluorine bond polarity and tellurium fluorine bond polarity. So here it is more polar bond. So as the polarity of the bond increases, its stability decreases. And also there is another one question, that is, what is the order of hydrolysis of SF6, ACF6, and TEF6? Here also the same reason, that is, as the polarity of the bond increases, so the hydrolysis rate also increases. So the stability, that is SF6, ACF6 greater than TF6. But the hydrolysis, the order of hydrolysis, that is TF6 greater than ACF6 greater than SF6, as it is less stable and it is more stable. So it is the hexafluorides stability and also the hydrolysis rate. Next one is the tetrahalides. So hexahalides, and next point, that is tetrahalides. Tetrahalides. Now all the elements from tetrahalides, but the tetrahalides of sulfur, for example SF4, here SF4 is most important. Here sulfur, that is SF4, is the works as Lewis acid and also Lewis base. Lewis acid and Lewis base. How it works like Lewis acid and Lewis base? So Lewis base is due to the lone electron pair on the sulfur atom, and Lewis acid is due to the acceptance of the electron from the ligand. How Lewis acid? That is, it can expand its valency by using the unhybridized d orbital, and by this way it can work as Lewis acid and Lewis base. The examples are as a Lewis base SF4. Example as Lewis base SF4 when reacts with BF3. SF4 when reacts with BF3, it forms a complex that is SF4 BF3 as Lewis acid. It can works with SF4 plus 2F minus forming SF6 2 minus. It is the Lewis acid. Now one question, that is SF4 is easily hydrolyzed but not SF6. Why SF4 is easily hydrolyzed? Because in SF4 the sulfur, here the 4 sulfur atom is there. Now in SF6 here 6 sulfur atom. So first of all, steric crowding is maximum in SF6. Second one, that is the sulfur can expand its valency to up to 6 by using the sp and d orbital. But in SF4 here the maximum covalency is 4, but in SF6 is 6. So the maximum valency of sulfur is 6 is observed in SF6. So in SF4 it can expand its valence. So by this is the two reason. One is the steric crowding and another one is the highest valency is the reason behind the observation. Next, about dihalides. Dihalides. All the elements are formed dihalides, but there are some stability. That is, someone is stable, someone is unstable. Now, out of this, sulfur hexachloride, sulfur dichloride, SCl2 is stable. SCl2 is stable. Why this is stable? As it is a sp2 hybridized. Now what is the geometry of this? It is stable and it is bent, and geometry is tetrahedral. Sorry, it is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized and shape is bent, having two lone pair, and the elements, that is sulfur, it forms SCl2, sp3 hybridized. It is the bent shape. Next, that is about oxides. So these are the halides. Next, it is the oxides. Next, the oxide, that is monoxide. Now all elements, that is sulfur, selenium, tellurium, form monoxide. Now dioxide, that is dioxide, sulfur, selenium, tellurium forms dioxide. Now out of this SO2, sulfur dioxide, his structure and hybridization we have to study. Now SO2, here in the ground state of sulfur, here in the ground state of sulfur it is 3s2, 3p4 and 3d is vacant, 3s, 3p and 3d. Sulfur in ground state, sulfur in excited state, what can happen? Here, so by this way, here is the hybridization, sp2 hybridization, and as it is the two oxygen atoms and one lone electron pair form p pi bond with oxygen, and another one form p pi d pi bond with oxygen. So sulfur, the structure will be this one sigma bond, that is the sigma bond, another one pi bond, here also one pi bond. It is due to p pi interaction, and it is due to d pi interaction. So this is the structure of sulfur dioxide. Next one, that is sulfur trioxide, SO3. So it is the structure of SO2. Next one is the SO3. So here also the same ground state configuration. Now here is something different from that of the sulfur dioxide. Here 3 oxygen atom is there, so 3 sigma bond will be there to form 3 sigma bond. So the electron from the ground state, that is S excited, that is 3s, will remain 1 electron in its 3s orbital. Here the hybridization is in SO3. Here the hybridization also is sp2 and 3 lone electron is there. Now out of these 3 lone electron, one will form p pi bond and another one with 2 will form d pi bond. So here sulfur, oxygen, 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 these are the pi bonds. One is p pi, another one is d pi, another one also d pi. So there is no lone electron pair is there. Now these are the simple oxides. Next one, that is dioxygen. Now dioxygen is found in the gaseous form in nature, that is O2, and another one, how it is prepared. So first of all, from chlorates or nitrates, by heating we can produce oxygen, that is 2KClO3. Next point, that is dioxygen. It is a compound of oxygen. Now we have to study some properties, that is dioxygen. So first of all, preparation. Preparation undergoes heating of chlorates, nitrates, etc. 2KClO3, 2KCl plus 3O2. It is the first process. And we know the electrolysis of water. Next one, that is by thermal decomposition of non-reactive metal, that is silver oxide. Thermal decomposition of non-reactive metal, that is silver oxide, producing silver plus O2. In the same way, we can produce oxygen by using mercury oxide also. Industrially, it is prepared by the first of all, it is the compression to form the liquid, and second step is the fractional distillation. In the fractional distillation, as nitrogen is less volatile than the oxygen, so by this way we can separate out liquid oxygen. Next one, it is the electrolysis process, and industrial preparation from here, which is the process of distillation, and this is the industrial preparation of oxygen. Now first of all, it is the properties. The properties, under the properties, so first of all, it is in gaseous form. Second one, it is paramagnetic in nature. That is, one lone electron is there in the molecular orbital theory of oxygen, and from the concept of class 11 we know that there is the MO, we can draw the MO, and there is a lone electron pair is situated in the antibonding orbital of oxygen. For this reason it is paramagnetic. Oxygen is neutral and it can be proved by using a litmus solution. Oxygen is not too much soluble in water, it is less soluble in water. Then some reactions, that is phosphorus. When phosphorus reacts with oxygen, it produces phosphorus pentoxide. It is an oxidant. Next one, when ZnS reacts with oxygen, then it will produce zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide gas. Catalytic oxidation, that is in gaseous form, that is HCl gas and oxygen gas, produces chlorine gas and water molecule. These are the reactions we have to study, and these are also given in your NCERT textbook. Now second one, that is the oxidation of ammonia by catalytic way, that is oxidation of ammonia by using platinum gauge catalyst to produce nitrous NO, that is which is used in the preparation of or Oswald process, that is processing of HNO3. Second one, that is the combustion, that is hydrocarbon in presence of oxygen produces the energy plus carbon dioxide. These are the reactions under dioxygen. First of all, it is the reactions with some non-metals. Second one, the catalytic process. Third one, preparation of HCl gas, and fourth one, the oxidation process. Uses of, first of all, it is the artificial respiratory system. Second one, it is used in the oxidant in the industrial preparation or in metallurgical use. Second one, dioxygen used is an oxidizer in rocket fuel. These are the uses of oxygen. So in today's class we have discussed on the different halides of group 16 elements and some shape and structure of some oxides, that is SO2, SO3 and dioxygen, its preparation and reaction and uses. On the next class we will discuss on the compounds of the elements, that is the for dioxygen we have already discussed. Second one will be the compounds of sulfur and sulfurous acid, etc. Follow your NCERT textbook carefully and read it and make notes for yourself. And for the next class, thank you.